The time is now. We have moved to the formation lap, and all McLaren front row as we leave the line.
So we talk about caution and gambles.
What off already?
No way, Isaac Hadjar. We were talking about the rookies, and he has gone into the wall. There is standing water out there.
This is surely going to delay the start, but on those intermediates, he's driving oh so slowly, and just listen.
The lines around this circuit aren't all FIA paint. It's a street circuit 51 weeks of the year. That is absolutely brutal ahead of what should have been his Grand Prix debut. Formula One in 2025 begins when the 5 red lights go out. The new season is underway and we're racing to turn number 1. Max Verstappen's got a good launch. Lando Norris knows it, covers him off. Do we go 3 wide into turn number 1? Can Max get around Oscar? No, he can't. Lando Norris, then Oscar Piastri. Max Verstappen with good traction though, trying to move up, and he roars by to take second place in the opening meters of the Grand Prix. Much better traction through there as we see Verstappen gain a place on the opening lap. The home hero down to 3rd. George Russell maintains 4th, and Charles Leclerc has improved 2 positions. He's got past Yuki Tsunoda, and he's into 5th.
Ironically, it was the Hadjar exit line that Max had, wasn't it? Slightly wider, off the conventional rubber.
Oh, big moment into the wall, and the Alpine finds the barriers. Jack Doohan on debut gets no further than the exit of turn number 5. The home hero brings out the safety car. Most importantly, he's okay, but we've lost 2 of the full season rookies by turn 5 of the first lap. Carlos Sainz has found the wall. It's not just the rookies. He's all right, but this is an extraordinary start to the season.
I think that's a car issue there for Sainz rather than anything else. That's a bizarre one, and it's under safety car as well.
Yeah, I've never seen something like that. It's such low speed. And those final 2 corners.
I had like a massive torque surge.
The green flag flies around Albert Park once again, and on lap 7 we will move to lap 8 of 57 with Lando Norris checking the left-hand mirror to see where Max Verstappen is. We're going racing once again in Melbourne. Can we find a clean lap? Can we make use of the 30 minutes where it's not expected to rain? Let's take another look at how Antonelli got past Hulkenberg.
So he's got DRS, he's got a Mercedes, and he's up against a Sauber, but it's nonetheless a tidy pass for Antonelli.
Antonelli's had a moment. He's dropped back behind Hulkenberg. He's heading into turn number 4, and he's done what his teammate did in practice. Dipped a wheel, gone round, avoids the wall, and he's back in the Grand Prix.
Yeah, easy mistake to make. I say easy to make. Your car doesn't suddenly get any wider.
He's a lucky boy. Keeps it going just before the barrier greets him there, and he's back in the race, just losing 1 position.
The man from Melbourne is chasing down the world champion, who is beginning to get braver and braver with the exit curbs. We are heading down from 10 to 11, heavy on the brakes, down from 180 miles per hour, and Verstappen is off! Verstappen goes deep, brushes the gravel, through goes Piastri, Oscar Piastri up to 2nd.
Just Lockie's pumping the brake pedal there to keep the rotation going, not have a massive flat spot and end up making it even worse. It's a good recovery from a mistake that could have cost Max a lot more, but it does unleash now Oscar into 2nd place, and it's a McLaren 1-2.
That is Kimi Antonelli going back past the Sauber, and he's back up to 12th, having spun away that position a few moments ago. McLaren started this weekend by announcing they've got both drivers signed up long-term. Oscar Piastri has a bumper contract, and he has the race leader close ahead of him. Look at the distance between the 2 McLarens. That's what 0.3 of a second looks like. I would imagine, purely because this is the boy. Oh, he was deep into 6. He was deep into 6, and that has extended the gap just wide into the 6th turn of the racetrack, and he's lost a load of momentum. The driver in the suburb of Brighton, a few miles away from here, where he heard the engine, the roar of F1 engines growing up as a kid.
Yeah, it's one of the most difficult parts of the management.
Into the wall we go. Fernando Alonso hits the barriers to bring out what will be a virtual safety car at minimum. And he was coming out of turn 6. The Aston Martin clatters the wall, and we have our 4th retirement from the Grand Prix.
So ran on the wet line on the way down into 6. Oof. Actually, you can't really say he was offline as he went through the exit of that curb on 6, but there was a gravel or something on the... No, he didn't actually go as far over the line, and that seems to be enough to have broken traction. So talk about the difficulty of keeping temperature in the intermediate earlier in the Grand Prix. This is going to be challenging.
Hard tyres as well for the McLaren boys. Out goes Norris. Slower stop for Piastri, but it won't matter. He should still come out ahead of Verstappen, who dives in as well.
As we cross the line and we go racing once again, Lando Norris leads, Oscar Piastri trying to take it away and trying to take home victory. Max Verstappen trying to be more effective on the slick tyre than he was on the intermediate. And we go racing once again, the top three going to battle once more.
In 3 laps, class 3 rain expected, lasting for 2 laps.
Class 3 is a lot.
Yes, this is what we see for the radar, but we'll have to wait for it.
Here comes the rain.
Yeah, well, they've all committed. As far as I can see, everyone's gone by.
That was a half look. There's the lock-up. Can he rotate the car? Yuki Tsunoda, he can.
So we're forecasting that we won't be able to stay out on dry tyres. We think it will be heavy enough for Inter.
If you find yourself trying to scurry around for 1 lap more on the slick, you could lose tens of seconds.
Charles Leclerc trying to come back. Remember, the medium tyre is off go the McLarens. First of all, Lando Norris, then Oscar Piastri, and Max Verstappen is on line to take second place, and he does so as the Australian driver spins at the penultimate corner of the racetrack. Can he keep the car going? Is that the moment that home victory dreams are dashed for Oscar Piastri?
And Verstappen stayed out.
Verstappen leads the Grand Prix. Lando Norris comes into pit, and it's Max Verstappen who rolls the dice, along with Yuki Tsunoda, who is up to second place. Lewis Hamilton, third for Ferrari on debut, and that might have been a slow stop for Lando Norris. Oscar Piastri was in second place, and then the rain came. Both McLarens off the road.
Yeah, and then crucially, Lando got it back on the tarmac earlier. Oscar, when he rejoined, just too much momentum, and off he went to the grass.
Yuki Tsunoda was able to get past Charles Leclerc. He had a spin whilst we were watching the McLarens.
The ponchos are down. Verstappen might not pit. He might have just gambled this, and he doesn't pit. He stays out. Hamilton passes Tsunoda for second and third. I think they've stayed out as well. It's a gamble for those that have pitted. It's a gamble for those that stayed out.
Looks like the rain is coming here now. We need to make a decision.
Understood, Max. We will let you know.
And now Lewis Hamilton. So ahead of him, you saw Yuki Tsunoda going off and Hamilton going around the outside.
He's losing massive amounts of time, but the team have decided to stay out.
All or nothing for Verstappen and Red Bull.
They're all in for the win. No, he peels in. He peels in. They can't hang on slick tyres on a wet track any longer. Will Lewis Hamilton try and do the opposite to try and claim victory on debut for Ferrari?
Surely he's going to be losing too much time if he stays out.
He's going to gamble. Lewis Hamilton leads on Ferrari debut. Charles Leclerc is second. Lando Norris is in the intermediate tyres, and he's got a chance to catch them and reclaim first place in the race. The rain comes down.
Yeah, Norris is already with Hamilton. Is not going to work,
Past
surely.
Leclerc to second place. And now Norris is close to the back of Lewis Hamilton. Ferrari stayed out on the slick tyre. Extraordinary Grand Prix.
Amazing, they both stayed out.
Yeah, leading the race.
Yes, very slippy, mate. It's more rain coming down.
Norris leads. Into the wall goes Liam Lawson. He's done the same thing at the first couple of turns on the racetrack. The Kiwi has hit the barriers.
This will be a safety car again.
Okay, well, a safety car changes things again.
And off the road we go with Gabriel Bortoleto, the rookie struggling in the wet again.
Bortoleto, wheel on the curb, and that momentum. We've seen that a lot this weekend.
We have indeed the reigning Formula 2 champion making his first start in Formula 1, and that's the moment that the traction broke on the Sauber into the barrier, and another incident at turn 13. We've seen plenty of them. The clunk into the barrier for the second Red Bull, Liam Lawson finding himself out of his 12th Formula 1 Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton pits from second place. He doesn't think it's the right tyre, even though they were slowed down by the safety car's pace. Well, what balance have you got on lap 52 of 57, with it going the distance, with the win in the balance? Can Lando Norris break clear? They're all fighting the cars, DC.
Yeah, Max Verstappen had to lift out. That's given George Russell a clear sight. And slipstream as they run down into turn 3. Pressure off Lando Norris.
Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc on the restart, super close together, heading into turn 2, and Charles Leclerc able to get past his teammate and up to 9th place. And how about that lap from Kimi Antonelli? He's putting Albon under massive pressure for 4th position right now. The driver on debut in Formula 1, as over the road goes Gasly, and he blocks the path of Leclerc, which will bring Hamilton into play.
Yeah, Hamilton will have momentum, and will he follow his teammate through? Yep, round the outside on the brakes.
Leclerc gets by, Hamilton gets by, and that error into the first turn of the racetrack cost Pierre Gasly, who drops down to 10th. Piastri trying to take at least a point away from what will be a day of hurt, a day where he could have found himself at the front. The gap under a second as we head into the high-speed turns at 9 and 10, with Verstappen getting so close.
Yeah, but he's in the dirty air through these high-speed chicanes. This should just be enough for Lando to break free.
He looks into the left mirror. He sees a 4-time world champion. He's not had the opportunity for a late send. Norris has a couple of corners to go. Antonelli has a 5-second time penalty for an unsafe release. That will drop him down behind Alex Albon. But Lando Norris was checking his mirrors a few corners ago. Now he sees the crowd rise to applaud him as the winner. Norris weathers the storm. The British driver sees the checkered flag first. Lando Norris wins the Australian Grand Prix in a brilliant battle all the way to the flag. He beat Max Verstappen by 0.8 of a second. George Russell completes the podium, and Kimi Antonelli comes home in 4th position. Apply the 5-second penalty, and it drops down to 5th. Amazing points for Alexander Albon in 4th place for Williams. That's still an incredible debut for Antonelli, but Norris withstood the pressure. Norris, our opening winner of the year. Oscar Piastri got past Lewis Hamilton on the last lap, and this is how he did it, going all the way around the outside. What a move!
Wow. That is commitment, that is bravery, that is anger, that is frustration, and that is no respect for a 7-time world champion.
It's dark overhead and the rain is pouring in, so what's a little bit more spray out there on the racetrack, on the podium? A magnificent motor race and victory for Lando Norris.